Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Sean with VersaFile. Today, we're going to show SuccessFactors integration with IBM CP4BA. We're going to show three methods today on how we integrate with IBM. First, we're going to talk about outbound content archiving and linking. We'll talk about how to capture content that's added into FileNet and link that into SuccessFactors. And we're also going to talk about how business processes and tasks can be automated or kicked off from within those environments. Let's start off with our first method. This is where content is added into SuccessFactors, and users commonly attach content into SuccessFactors as they're going through the recruiting process and the hiring process, and as well throughout the life cycle of an employee. Today, what we're going to show is when an employee is hired, that's going to be our trigger for docuflow to recognize that all these documents are ready for archiving. We'll grab all these documents, we'll go into FileNet, we'll create a new folder along with metadata, and we'll archive those documents into the FileNet repository. From there, we'll circle back and we'll replace those documents in SuccessFactors with what we call link cards, and make those available for search and viewing from within SuccessFactors. The second scenario we'll show is inbound linking to SuccessFactors. In this scenario, we're adding content into the FileNet repository, either into a folder separately with some or a lot of metadata. Either way, docuflow will pick this up, recognize this trigger, go through its transform pipeline, and find the correct records in SuccessFactors and attach link cards to those SuccessFactors records. Any metadata changes between the two will be synchronized. Finally, there's task and process automation. Anywhere throughout the process, whether in FileNet or in SuccessFactors or even in the transform pipeline, various tasks and processes can be kicked off and automated. Next, we're going to pop it over to Darren. He's going to show us a demo of the software, SuccessFactors integration into IBM FileNet. As well, we're also going to see how content then gets created and linked into SAP ECC. Darren, over to you.
So we'll start off. I'm in SuccessFactors here, and I'm currently logged in as someone called David Mold. So David Mold, as part of our integration, can not only see his employee file, but he can also see all of his documents under this tab called My Documents. So as David clicks on that, it will open up the My Documents tab. And within here, David can see all of the documents that have been captured that he has access to, that have been archived and saved into the FileNet IBM system. So, and as well, David can click on any one of these documents, and it will go ahead and open up that document again from our IBM repository. So here we can see David's opened up our certificate that he has been archived for him. Taking a look at how those actual employee files look in the IBM repository is configurable. All of the metadata you'll see today on things like these folders. So as I click on this folder, we can see the metadata that's been pulled over from SuccessFactors. We have a default out of the box mapping for this, but it is configurable as part of the solution to what metadata shows up. So here we can see David's outline, and we can see all of those documents that were accessible from within SuccessFactors that he had access to. So let's go ahead now. We're going to go ahead and capture another employee. So we've just onboarded Sean Fitzpatrick, and that process has been kicked off now that he's been hired. So what we'll see here in a minute is a new folder show up for Sean. Go ahead and refresh that. See, Sean has just showed up. If I select that, I can see it looks like we've hired Sean, and he's now working in our IT department as part of an HR manager into our IT. Now, if we change over to Sean, SuccessFactors. The other thing Sean has access to is something called the document search. So he can search within documents for employees that work within his department. So that's our document search. So we'll go ahead and click on that. So again, from within the employees that work within Sean's department, he can search across documents. So for instance, if he's looking for any certificates, go query into the system. And again, we can see all of those documents within the system. The other thing we have here is these filters bar. And here you can see also within the search. So this search up here will search across all the common fields, such as the title, the employee name, the company, location, etc. But you can be more explicit with these filter fields. So if you can search for just someone's first name. So for instance, if we just want to search on documents for Darren, we can do that. And as well, within the filters, this little button over here will allow me to add additional filters. So the four most frequently used are configured to show up here, but again, we can choose any of these other filters that are available, and it will add that to our bar over here. So we'll go back over to Sean here. We'll open up his employee file. Again, we'll see that there's some documents here that have been captured. You can see we've got a criminal record check, and we can see that he's provided. And we can see that as well as that original metadata that we had captured, this has also been now linked back into our S/4HANA system, where it's pulled some additional metadata. And with that, I'll turn it over to Greg, who will show us a bit more about that particular part of the integration.
Thanks, Darren. Now let's take a look at what happened with the docuflow integration to SAP ECC or S/4HANA. As mentioned, the content that goes from SuccessFactors into FileNet automatically creates a record inside of SAP. Not only does it do that, it attaches the associated content that was created from SuccessFactors to that newly created record inside of SAP. Taking a look at that SAP record with the new employee created, noted by Darren at the metadata, let's look at the attachment list showing the documents associated with this new employee. Here we see the records brought over from SuccessFactors. To view it from SAP, simply double click and will be presented inside of your IBM Content Navigator screen.
That's great. Thanks very much, Greg. Thanks, Darren. That concludes our demo for today. If you'd like further information, please reach out to VersaFile.